So welcome to your second guidepost of our service, and I invite you to a time of contemplation. When prepping for today's service, I started to review a part of my upcoming sermon next Sunday, which is waiting to exhale. Before I could even turn my computer on, I began to get alerts from Facebook on my cell phone, warning that another mass shooting had occurred, this time in Parkland, Florida. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. I had to pause and just sit on my couch because I couldn't move. My breath shallow and my palms sweating. I was in shock. Again, this has happened and nothing has changed. Sitting there in that anxious mindset, I had to dig deep. And ironically, the first thing that came to my mind was, "Not today, Satan." It's a phrase that was made popular by drag queen Bianca Del Rio during season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race. In that moment, I just paused, and instead of reading the rest of the story as it happened, I instead looked for drag race memes to help me push through. In my sermon, Waiting to Exhale, I say that the end of the world as we know it occurred on November 9th, 2016, when people woke up to the realization that the host of The Apprentice was now our 45th president. In that sermon, I come to the realization that we as Americans had not learned our lessons from having Ronald Reagan as president and having Arnold Schwarzenegger as our governor of California. Much of my sermon talks about this anxious feeling that we get whenever something about our lives is challenged, whether it is our safety, our intelligence, or our judgment. Again, today I'm sitting with that anxiousness. I think that the power that I see in saying the phrase, "Not today, Satan," is that I am claiming today for the victims, their survivors, and the families of those impacted by senseless violence. I am also claiming the day for myself, so that I am not afraid and I can breathe. It's hard to believe that we live in a country where we are quick to turn the victims of domestic terrorism into a statistic and a hashtag, but we are too afraid to address what the real issues are. Whether that is better health care or better gun control regulations. For me, saying "Not today, Satan" is saying that we are taking the power back and moving towards wholeness on our terms. We are rebuking this devil and choosing to call on our community to love fiercely as we navigate through this. I don't have all the answers for you today, but I think we can begin here. So say it with me. "Not today, Satan." One more time. "Not today, Satan."